It's late. You're driving home on a quiet, dark road. The rhythmic hum of the engine fills the silence. You're tired but focused, counting the minutes until you're safely in bed. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a flash of movement. A deer bolts into the road. Your foot slams the brake. Time slows. The world narrows to a single point, that deer. Your hands tighten on the wheel, your heart pounds, your breath catches, and then it's over. The deer vanishes into the shadows and your car comes to a halt. Relief. You're alive. But what if, in another reality, you didn't make it? What if, in that moment, everything ended, and yet here you are, still conscious, still existing? This isn't a riddle. It's a question quantum mechanics dares to ask. A concept called quantum immortality suggests that death might not be what you think it is. Let's explore this together. What if you never truly die? To grasp this idea, we need to step back to 1957, when physicist Hugh Everett III introduced a theory that turned science on its head, the many worlds interpretation. Imagine reality isn't a single linear path, but an infinite branching tree. Every decision, every random event splits reality into countless new ones, one where you said yes and one where you didn't. One where you missed the train and one where you caught it. You've likely had those fleeting moments of déjà vu, those strange feelings that something's off. What if those are echoes, faint traces of choices you didn't make but that still exist, just out of reach? Quantum mechanics tells us that, at its smallest levels, reality is probabilistic. Subatomic particles don't follow a single path, they take all paths. Everett's theory extends this bizarre behavior to everything, including you. Now, think back to your own life. Have you ever had a moment, a close call, where you thought, I should have died? A near miss on the highway, a medical scare, a freak accident that somehow spared you. What if in that instant reality split? In one universe, you didn't make it. But in this one, the one you're experiencing now, you did. Your consciousness flowed into the branch of the multiverse where you survived. Quantum immortality suggests that death might not be the end, but a divergence, a fork in the road where your awareness always continues down the path of survival. Let's ground this with a classic thought experiment, Schrödinger's cat. A cat is placed in a sealed box with a vial of poison. A random quantum event determines whether the poison is released or not. Until the box is opened, the cat exists in a quantum superposition, both alive and dead at the same time. But here's the twist. According to Everett's many worlds theory, when you open the box, reality doesn't collapse into one outcome. Instead, both outcomes exist in separate universes. In one, the cat lives. In the other, it doesn't. Now replace the cat with yourself. Every life or death moment becomes a quantum event, and your consciousness always aligns with the version of reality where you survive. This is the essence of quantum immortality. It doesn't make you invincible. It doesn't mean you'll live forever in the traditional sense. It means that from your subjective perspective, you'll never experience your own death. Imagine it as a river branching into a delta. Every fork leads somewhere, but you, the observer, always find yourself in the stream where you continue. Death doesn't happen to you. It happens in parallel universes, to versions of you that you'll never meet. It's an unsettling thought. You're alive here now, but in countless other timelines, perhaps you aren't. Let's step back for a moment. We've talked about quantum immortality, the idea that your consciousness might continue to exist in a universe where you survive. But how does that idea hold up on the grandest scale imaginable, across the vast expanse of the cosmological multiverse? André Linde, one of the pioneers of modern cosmology, proposes something staggering: that our universe isn't unique. Instead, it's just one bubble in an infinite cosmic foam. Each bubble, each universe has its own laws of physics, constants, and even dimensions. In this multiverse, possibilities aren't just endless, they're baked into the very fabric of reality. Linde's cosmological multiverse suggests that every universe arises from a process called chaotic inflation, a self-replicating expansion that spawns universe after universe. Imagine a vast, eternal ocean, each wave forming a bubble. Some bubbles grow vast and expansive, others pop into oblivion. Now consider this. Within this multiverse of infinite bubbles lies the potential for infinite versions of you. Some versions of you may inhabit universes vastly different from ours, worlds where the laws of physics bend in unimaginable ways. Others may be eerily similar, with only the tiniest differences: a word unsaid, a step not taken, a car accident avoided. Does this sound familiar? It should. This is where Linda's multiverse dovetails beautifully with quantum immortality. If every decision and every quantum event can lead to new branches of reality, as the many worlds interpretation suggests, then Linda's multiverse might provide the backdrop for those branches. Think about it. If your consciousness aligns with the paths of survival, always continuing in a universe where you live, it may be that these paths weave through the cosmological multiverse itself. Perhaps the reality where you survive isn't just a branch of our universe, it could be a completely different bubble in Linda's infinite ocean. Every time your consciousness takes a step forward, it might be leaping to another universe entirely, leaving behind those in which you ceased to exist. This connection raises profound questions about the nature of existence. If both Linda's multiverse and quantum immortality are true, what does it mean to be you? Are you a singular entity, or are you a traveler, skipping across the bubbles of the multiverse, tethered only to survival? And what about the universes you leave behind, the versions of you that didn't make it? Are they still you, living in their own bubble, unaware of your departure? Or are they fragments fading into the vast, endless foam? In Linda's multiverse, reality isn't bound by the finite. It stretches beyond imagination, encompassing all possibilities. Quantum immortality adds another layer, suggesting that your consciousness is the navigator, threading through these possibilities, always seeking survival. Together, they paint a picture of existence that is as humbling as it is exhilarating. You are not just one person living one life, you are a continuum, a ripple through infinite realities, forever flowing toward the next moment, the next survival, the next universe. Could it be that your journey, your choices, and even your very survival are written into the eternal fabric of the multiverse? If Linda and quantum immortality are right, then the answers lie not in the universe, but in the multiverse. If you can never experience your own death, does that make you immortal? Or is this just an illusion, a trick played by the nature of consciousness? Here's a chilling possibility. What if your sense of self, your awareness, is a thread weaving through countless realities, always following the path of survival? If that's true, every moment you're alive takes on new meaning. Every choice you make shapes not just this life, but the infinite web of lives beyond it. But what about the whispers, the hints of these other realities? Have you ever experienced déjà vu, that eerie sense that you've been here before? Some say it's a glitch in memory. Others wonder if it's something more, a bleed-through from a timeline where events unfolded differently. And what about the Mandela effect? Shared memories of things that never happened. Millions of people recall Nelson Mandela dying in prison, even though he didn't. Could these be echoes, fragments of parallel universes slipping through the cracks? Even the famous double-slit experiment shows us something profound. Observation shapes reality. Could our consciousness be the observer, navigating this infinite multiverse? This theory forces us to confront the biggest questions. What is life? What is death? And what is real? If death is just a transition, a divergence in the multiverse, does life lose its urgency? Or does it become infinitely more precious, knowing that every choice, every fleeting moment, echoes across countless realities? Quantum immortality isn't just a theory about survival. It's a challenge, a call to live fully, to embrace the infinite possibilities of existence. But let's be clear, this is still just a theory. Many physicists argue that quantum immortality is an elegant misinterpretation of quantum mechanics, There's no proof, no way to test it. And consciousness, that's a mystery all its own. We don't fully understand what it is, let alone how it might interact with quantum reality. Skepticism is healthy, but even as a thought experiment, quantum immortality pushes us to think deeper, to question the boundaries of what we believe. Whether you find this idea thrilling, unsettling, or just plain bizarre, one thing is certain. The universe is far stranger than we can imagine. So, what do you think? Is quantum immortality a glimpse into the true nature of reality, or just a fascinating tale spun from the quirks of quantum mechanics? Let us know. Share your thoughts, your theories, your questions, and if you're ready to dive deeper into the mysteries of existence, stay with us. This journey is just beginning. Some may call it crazy. We call it curiosity. Every breakthrough starts with someone questioning the unquestionable. What if we're wrong? What if we're right? Stay curious, stay bold, and never stop questioning, because that's how progress begins.